first instructional video is very basic. It's on how to hold a stick, and it sounds a lot easier than it actually is. Now, a stick looks like this. First of all, this is a drum set stick. There are many different kinds of sticks in percussion. There are orchestral sticks, marching sticks, and this is a good medium-sized drum set stick. This is a 5A, and that's a good stick to start out with. Now, like any lever, a stick needs a fulcrum to swing properly. And generally, to get the most efficient stroke, you want your fulcrum to be about a third of the way up. And at this point is where the stick will sit between your forefinger and your thumb. So if you just look at that, that'll give me a nice stroke. Now, there's more involved in the overall stroke of a stick. Now, you want to make sure that your hands are sitting properly on the stick. You want your fingers, okay, to be wrapped around, not totally tight, but just enough to sit on the back of the stick like that. And generally, you don't want your fingers to leave the stick. Now, the actual stroke, the starting position is up like this. Now, in marching percussion, you'll see, for the purpose of consistency within the drum line and also for visual effect, they start down like this, and their stroke looks like this. Now, for general percussion and orchestral percussion, you want your stroke to begin up here because you're wasting less energy. It takes more for me to go like this than it does just to let my stick fall. So actually, that brings us to the first part of a stroke, okay, which is letting the stick fall, which requires more of a cooperation with gravity than actual muscle force. So you're letting the stick fall, and the first thing that happens, strikes the head and you get a rebound. And like you're working with gravity in the beginning, you're working with the rebound toward the end. So gravity helps the stick down, the rebound helps the stick up. And there's a general cooperation between your fingers and your wrist to make this motion happen correctly. So it'll look like this. I'm letting the stick fall, and I'm letting the rebound bring it back up. My fingers are staying on the stick, and my wrist is helping. Now, as you encounter different dynamics within music, you incorporate your arms into the stroke. Now, at a softer volume, you won't use your arms so much. You'll still be letting the stick fall and letting the rebound bring it back up. Okay. Now for let's say for a buzz roll, a fortissimo buzz roll, you'll notice that I'm starting to use my arms. Okay. Now, for demonstration purposes, I'll start soft and crescendo. I'll start at pianissimo and crescendo to a forte, rather. And you'll start to see, just take note how I'm using my hands, and also how I gradually start to incorporate my arms. My fingers are staying on the stick. Okay. And you're going to encounter that kind of dynamic and technique a lot in classical percussion. So this is a kind of a beginning, is outlining some general concepts for you in how to hold your stick and how to strike it properly, striking the drum properly. And it'll help you in playing musical passages, and especially in drum set, I notice a lot of guys are relying a lot on their wrist. And since, just like anything else in life, you want to take your health into precaution. And you want your technique to be the most forgiving as far as what your body wants to do. So you're not going to force anything. I had a drum set teacher once who made me hold the sticks like this in the middle of my palm like that, and he made me use all wrists. And his argument was that it was a straight line of power, but it ended up really hurting my wrists. So what I'm teaching you to do is to be more forgiving with your wrist, and let your body really dictate what is the most natural stroke for you. So your stick should be about 45 degrees. Or that's 90 degrees, sorry. Should be real natural.